welcome to Liana James Hair and Beauty, our live for tonight on our first Friday out of lockdown in Melbourne. Whoop, whoop. For those that have not joined me before, what I do over the next 30 days will be talking about hairdressing, all things hairdressing. Some funny things, some not so funny things, some serious things. At the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about foiling. But let me give you a bit of a spiel about what this is all about. Like I said, I'm going to cover all different topics. So moving forward, we're going to talk about myths in hairdressing. Today, foiling, like I said. We've talked about washing hair, why we use Di Lorenzo, and why we use all the products that we use. So I hope you enjoy it. But I want this to be interactive, and I'll keep saying this multiple times. I need people to ask me questions. And for those that are watching it after it's been live and on our IGTV, I suggest that you direct message me if I say something that you're interested in. So I hope you enjoy today's episode. We're also going to do what's hot and what's not. I'm going to go through a few different bits and pieces and go through a few horror foiling outcomes. So let's have some fun about foiling. So I brought our little dolly here. Her name is Cassie or Cassandra. Our new apprentice Aman named her. Well, yeah, apprentice. Really, she's in year 10. She's doing a traineeship in year 10 from Lindale Secondary College. So now, what we are. Everyone knows your traditional foils. You know, you look at you do the top section. You also do the two side sections through here or through there, and then depending if you're getting a full head or not, I'll turn it around. You do all the parts at the back, or at least over the crown on the back part. Welcome everyone. Like I've said, in case you're just joining, if you need to ask questions or want to ask questions or put a question up, I'm more than happy to answer it. I'm going through different foiling techniques. So I'm talking right now the traditional, the top, the sides, the back, your half head, your quarter head, or your full head of foil. Now, there's other ways of doing it because some people are a bit scared about going into the whole foiling experience, especially if you're going to all of a sudden have this color and then have a brand new color put through the hair. So it doesn't have to go through the top for starters. You can always leave a small or large veil. So it protects it. You can get some foil work done through the rest of the hair and it will come through, but it won't be right on top. The other thing is that if you don't like the foil work, you can always go back to your original color. Let's not forget that. That's one way of doing it. So leaving a veil of your natural, you can still get the work that you want done, but you don't necessarily have to be fearful that it might not look pretty cool. That's one thing. A lot of people don't like stripes. And what I like to do as a technique, because when you're going this way, good foilers won't necessarily leave you with stripes. However, what you could also do is go across the part. You could go across the part. And by going across the part on an angle, when it actually flattens out, all the different pieces of foils come out in all different directions. It's actually pretty cool. So if you can imagine a foil just going like this, across that part line, instead of just one after the other in a straight line, okay? You'll definitely avoid any of those crossovers and those straight lines and GT stripes going through the hair. That same method and idea can be applied through the side. You know, traditionally we go straight up on a foil. And if you like to wear your hair up, sometimes those stripes can come all the way through. So by taking it on an angle, when you pull your hair up, okay, you won't necessarily see any of those straight lines coming through the side of your hair. Any of the straight lines coming through like this or like that. So, again, you got any of these questions, please let me know and I'm happy to go through on why you might choose a different type of foiling. Another technique that we like to use here at Liana James in the salon, specifically, I don't know if anyone else does it, maybe it's not that unique, but is actually doing a full head of foils effectively, but just doing it on an angle all the way through. And you can start on an angle like this, going through the whole head, and I'll show you on the side. So you take it on an angle all the way through from there to there. In some of these sections, big sections, you're probably going to have to take more foils. You can do it that way. The alternative way of starting is from the back part and taking it on an angle, working all the way up and through to the top, sitting through here. It's also a really good technique for when you're doing a full head of color as well. So if someone has grays or something like that, that they want their natural color as well, then it will work. Because you have those foils coming through, very subtle finish on the hair itself, which is pretty cool. Very important whenever you're doing foil work, that especially if you're going lighter. So we'll talk about just going lighter. Generally speaking, foil work is done that way. It's not always, but usually. Toner and getting the hair to the right level is such an important part. You know, if your hair is sitting at the wrong level and you try to tone the hair with the wrong thing, you won't get the right color. And I'll give you an example. So right here is our color chart. Okay? So on this side is all our naturals, and I'll just work in the natural section for now. So up here is your lightest levels, you know, your level 10 or 9 really is what we look for. And then it goes all the way to your darker colors right at the bottom. If you only manage to lighten your hair color to this, all right, and a good hairdresser will know whether they've actually lightened it to the right color, or right level, I should say, and then you start trying to tone it with something that's not an 8. So if you've got the hair and you've lightened it to this part, up to here, and then you try to lighten it with something that is not on that same level, it just won't work. It won't actually do anything to the hair. Although you'll have the right tone, you might even choose the right tone to counteract and all that sort of stuff. If you don't get to the right level, one, if you don't get to the right level, two, if you do not then choose the right toner at the right level, you're not going to get the desired outcome that you're looking for. It's very important that the person or whoever's working on somebody's hair, that they get the hair to that right level, and I won't stop saying it, I've said it probably 15 times already. Get it to the right level, and then you'll be able to tone it with whatever you need to make sure that you get rid of any of the colors or undertones that you're seeing that you don't like. Okay, so very important, get the hair to the right level, tone it with the right color. But what's really cool is that we have wonderful things like our silver shampoo. So anyone that wants to get rid of brassiness or anything like that, you'll be able to see just in here, and hopefully I won't drip it all over the shop, this color of this shampoo. Now, for those that are trying to get brassiness out of their hair, our violet shampoo is really a blue base almost. So it really does work well when somebody has anything that has coppery tones running through their hair. Again, it's a level thing. You know, there's no point coming to me with a level 5 hair and you feel like you're really warm and you want to try to tone it with something like this. Not going to work. Might give you a little bit of a shimmer, bit better, but it's not really going to get you from that really carroty orange to all of a sudden being a neutral brown. It's just not going to do it. But really great, probably from a level 7 up, blue shampoo or silver shampoo, the Nova Fusion range, unbelievable. We also have this amazing product called Illuminate. And you can see how much it's loved by how much is being poured out on the bottle. We love using it here at the Arnold James. And again, you'll see when I pull this out, I'm going to try not to get it on my hands because it is so crazy how violet is that. It's almost so violet, it's almost black. Unbelievable. You'll probably just see it there pouring out a little bit. Stunning. So again, in the same category. See, the problem with violet as opposed to blue is that violet does great work on yellow. Any yellow tones, even if it's a bit orange but mostly yellow, it'll do a great job. If you try to get violet to do work on orange tones, it just doesn't work. And this is where I think the Di Lorenzo, both Silver and Illuminate, do an amazing job because they actually bring blue into the picture and really try to counteract all the things that people don't actually like to see in their hair, especially those that are going blonde. My last and not least, I'm going to go into the rosewood. Now rosewood, you'll see, purplish in nature, but it actually has a little bit of red tinge to it as well. Now if you leave it on long enough, you actually look a little bit rosy. You actually have that real red coming through the hair. But for those that really like a creamy color, rosewood is the king. So someone told me once, you know, if you look at cream, although like when someone says I really like to have a cream color, okay, they might actually really like that what you see as a cream. But if you break down what a cream looks like, that actually has a little bit of warmth in it. And that's what a lot of people, when they're trying to tone for a creamy outcome, they don't leave any of that warmth there. They try to go too much with the blue, too much with the violet, and get rid of all the warm tones, and it doesn't come out the other end as creamy as the person's looking for. So rosewood for us is the kicker, because it's predominantly violet as its main secondary tone, then it as its primary undertone, and then secondary undertone is red. So it's got a touch of red with violet being the main thing, and that's why I recommend highly either the rosewood Nova Fusion, or when we're doing toners in the back room, to mix up a rosewood to get that nice creamy blonde, if that's what you're looking for. But again, this is all about foiling techniques and about getting different styles within the hair. So like I said before, you've got the traditional half head, quarter head I should say, the top part. You do your half and sides, and then the back. And like I said, going through how you can get different tones depending on what foil work you decide to do. You can use shampoos to take home with you and use, or you can obviously get us to do toners in the salon. So it's important, like I said before, I really want people to ask me questions. So you could be, how much does one of these cost? I think they're about $27 or $28.95, something along those lines anyway. Jump online at www.ljhair.com.au and you can order yourself one of these guys. Just come in and see us. I'm actually doing a special on Nova Fusion. I'm getting whole little pieces of hair, and I'm going to do a few live testers so we can put these on different levels of hair and then see what colours they come out on the other side, which is pretty cool, I reckon. A few other points. Maintenance on foil work, especially when you're lightening hair. Treatments, in my view, toners, in my view, very important. Novaplex, a great option. Again, when you're lighting hair and you're putting that much work into the hair, you're not going to get a perfect outcome on the hair integrity of the hair. Putting a Plex in that actually helps replenish and strengthen that hair is an important tool that we use so that we can get your hair to the right color. And nowadays, with people having so much old work in their hair, it's never been more important to use something like that. Moisture, protein, and oil. I can't say it enough. Moisture, protein, and oil. Get them into your hair. Very important. For us in De Lorenzo ranges, protein complex, oil balance, and equilibrium is the big moisturizing conditioner. But it's important that you take ownership of that and come in and actually get it done. Now, I'm going to move along to one of our more entertaining parts of tonight. I haven't seen many questions coming through about this particular topic. So I will go on to look at a few crazy hairstyles that have just kind of gone wrong. It will be quite a little bit entertaining, really. I've had a look already at some of these foiling outcomes that have been less than desirable. Pretty shocking. So join me. Look at this bad one. So you'll see over here, and that looks like someone's attempted a bleach and a color correction that's just gone absolutely badly wrong. Disaster. This technique in here, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how you get a band like that. I'm guessing they probably got, on the ends, looks like probably a salon color. Then they tried to do the regrowth at home and epic fail. In here, just not a good job whatsoever. It's I feel sorry for that person. They've done a good recovery, whoever did that work. That's phenomenal. Really looks nice. Quality of the hair and everything. Great colour. Look at this one. Ooh, that is some serious repair work needed in that one. That is just shocking. Lost for words, really. And I hope they didn't pay this amount of money for this work, because that work there is, I don't even know what words to use, to be honest with you. That is just horrific. I haven't seen much of this in my time, I have to say, but it's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. We've had a few home jobs recently, actually, that we had to fix, which were quite fun. We've got good outcomes, has to be said. If you jump on our Instagram page, you'll see a few of our before and afters. This one here, I mean, I just don't understand. Why would you stop processing it that orange and then even leave it like that afterwards and not tone the hair? I just, yeah, I got nothing really to say. Yeah, definitely someone needs to get the manager. I mean, the manager, if they're letting that walk out of the shop, I mean, geez, I think someone needs to get rid of the manager, to be honest. This one, great, and the colour, I have to say, I really like that tone. Maybe I don't like how stripy it is at the top there, to be honest, but from that recovery, I say, you know, big thumbs up to whoever did that. But there, I mean, again, how do you let someone walk out of the shop like that? It just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, let's see a few more before we finish. Oh, this one's horrific. Look at this. I mean, someone actually paid to basically leave the hair black. I mean, I just don't understand why someone would do that. It really makes no sense to me whatsoever. Let's go through this one over here. Ugh, again, it's just so sad. Some people have to walk around with this. It's just really tragic. I hope, this is why our industry seriously gets a bit of a bad rap sometimes. It has to be said though, like for example, this, what the, right? And look at that as an outcome. This is what our industry should be celebrated for, because that turnaround is absolutely phenomenal. From that to that, ridiculous there, stunning there. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination by the end there, but it is a lot better than what they started with. And I'm not trying to just dish out bad vibes to people. I just think that, you know, everyone can see when they've done something that's poor. Everyone can see when someone is leaving the hair salon with that. You know, your eyes work pretty well, I'd imagine, and you really should not be doing that in our industry. Sad. Now, the important part, though, is that it is recoverable. Look at this. This is a perfect example, right? Look at this work up here, right? And then look at, I'm going to hopefully get to the actual page for this one. So excuse me. We can't look at it. Doesn't matter. Hopefully you can see that outcome there. It's a bit blurry, so I do apologise for the blurriness. Okay. Point is, the recovery work on that is fantastic. You know, maybe we'll use this one as well. Shocking. Over here, pretty nice colour in the end. You know, there's a little bit of warmth still coming through because we're not miracle workers, for God's sake. But that work overall is fantastic. And it's all to do with the toner. It's all to do with picking the right level. They know what level they're starting with over here. And moving it over here and getting rid of all that warm tones. Now, someone might like that. I mean, if that's what they've come in and asked for, good on them. But I'd suggest that that is a preferred outcome for a blonde. Very important. Ask your hairdresser about what is the best outcome for you. And again, these all come down to toners, pretty much. You know, us getting in there with the right toner at the right level, and ultimately getting rid of the hair colours that we don't like. Thank you for joining tonight. I understand it's a Friday. Most people are probably chilling at home with their family, friends, maybe getting something to eat via Uber or going out for something to eat because we're finally allowed into restaurants and want to catch up with family and friends. So enjoy tonight, and I hope to catch you all tomorrow or the day after or the day after that. Please direct message me. Send me some information on what you would like me to cover in the days and weeks ahead. Thanks everyone. Have fun.